Well, Skip, for me, I would have preferred, and I think we kind of talked about it, Skip, a little bit before we left. I like the Buddy Hield situation. It seems like to me, the Malik Monks and the Ellingtons and the Kendrick Nunn, all of those we're going to try to figure out which one is Malik Monk, because when you trade in the NBA, Skip, the salaries has to match. Russell is making $43 million. Buddy Hield was making about $23 million. So that's another $21 million you got to play with. Well, you take Russell, and so now you got a bunch of guys on minimum contracts. They need shooters. But the one thing that we do know about LeBron loves playing with guys, especially when the rubber needs to meet the road. Normally, they're veteran guys that he's comfortable with. There have been very few Alex Carusos, guys that are young, that gets an opportunity to be in the closing lineup, late in ball games, late in playoff ball games, that LeBron feels comfortable with. That's why, Skip, he's willing to trade first-round pick. He don't care anything about that. The number one overall pick, he came back to Cleveland. Get rid of Andrew Wiggins. Get rid of Bennett. I want Kevin Love. I want a veteran guy. So he gets a veteran guy. We know LeBron is very fond of Russell Westbrook. There's nothing not to like about him. He gives it to you every night. No player that I've ever seen with my two eyes plays harder on a nightly basis. In the NBA,
on offense, I'll give you.
Hey, you can't have it all, Skip. You can't have it all. So for me, Skip, would I have preferred Buddy Hield? Yes, I would have preferred Buddy Hield because I think that's a better fit for LeBron and AD. But LeBron's like, nah, in order for us to get to where we need to go to challenge the Big Three in Brooklyn or to challenge some of these teams in the West, be it if your guy comes back healthy, Kawhi, and the Nuggets, we need another guy, a surefire guy that we can count on. And so for me, Skip, I probably would have, you know what? I would have bit the bullet and went with Buddy Hield.
Really?
I would have taken Buddy. Yes, I would have.
I want to stop the presses and call a quick timeout here because my man Shannon Sharpe, or as I call him, Shannon Sharpe, just criticized, if not condemned, his man LeBron James for making the wrong GM move and choosing the wrong player. And this is not just a player. This is the key player. He chose Russell Westbrook over Buddy Hield, and Shannon Sharpe just said, I would have gone the other way, which indicates to me that you were saying LeBron was wrong.
No, see, I did not condemn LeBron. At the end of the day, LeBron James is going to have to be the one that's playing alongside the guy. So LeBron felt more comfortable playing alongside Russ, although the majority of the time that they played together, maybe it's a pickup game, but it was an all-star game, Skip. But for me, I think Buddy Hield a shooter that can space the floor. But LeBron was like, hold on, you just remember in 2020 we won the championship and we didn't have any spaces. We didn't have guys that was knocked down, drop-dead three-point shooters. The Milwaukee Bucks just won the championship and they shot terrible from the three-point line. So maybe we're putting a little bit too much emphasis on spacing and three-point shooting. He says, hey, give me a guy that I know on a given night can go get me 25, 30, and he's going to play. Russell Westbrook, Skip, on a night in Cleveland, after we coming off a back-to-back, Russell will win that game because he's going to push the tempo all by himself. He said, either you're coming or you're not. I'm not going to condemn LeBron, but I get what LeBron, me personally, Skip, after watching it and see how AD plays, see how LeBron plays, I think Buddy Hield's a better fit. But LeBron says, I want a guy that's been a former MVP, that's been an all-NBA player. I want him to ride along with AD and I. So I'm not condemning LeBron. Would I have chosen Buddy Hield? I would have chosen Buddy Hield.
Okay, so you just said that LeBron decided he was more comfortable, those were your words, more comfortable playing alongside Russell Westbrook. When Kevin Durant said he never got comfortable with playing alongside Russell Westbrook and said, I'm out. And James Harden said, I am not comfortable after 1 year playing alongside Russell Westbrook, and I am out. And Paul George had the option to leave playing alongside Russell Westbrook and jumped at the escape hatch provided him by Kawhi Leonard, who had the option of bringing in Russell Westbrook or Paul George and chose Paul George over Russell Westbrook. All those players said no, 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 no to the player that LeBron said yes to. And yet I 1,000% agree with your basketball analysis of this because it's not even close. It is a no-brainer, as in, LeBron, you have no brains if you're going to choose Russell Westbrook, a disaster waiting to happen, the all-time ball hog, a guy who 4 times has led this league in usage rate and 4 other times was second in usage rate because he wants the basketball in his hands. You are choosing him to be your primary decision maker at point guard when clearly you were, LeBron, born to play the position of point guard. He is obviously more magic than Michael. Can we agree on that? I mean, everybody agrees with that, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, LeBron, I always say, you say, I hate LeBron. I don't hate LeBron. I call him almost every day on this show the best passer in basketball. He is still the best passer in basketball. Well, obviously, Kevin Durant is now by far the best player in basketball, the best player on the planet. We will discuss that later.
Yes.
And once again, yet another ranking says Kevin Durant is the best player in basketball. I'm sorry, but you are once again wrong on that. But the point is, LeBron is still the best passer in basketball. He was born to play the position of point guard, and now you are saying he's willing to play off the ball as he pursues the all-time scoring record held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because that's more of his primary goal, it feels like to me right now, than actually winning a 5th championship.
Stop saying that, Skip.
If you really want to win a 5th championship, you go basketball analytics and you say, I belong at point guard. I'm the primary decision maker. I'm the orchestrator. I'm the distributor. I make it all happen. It all initiates from me. I'll control the offense because I've got Anthony Davis and they vibe off each other great. They're a very good fit together, and it's going to get gummed up by Russell Westbrook because he just doesn't fit. He's the odd man out of that triangle offense. And yet Buddy Hield would be the odd man in because, to your point, he's not just a good three-point shooter. He's a borderline. He's becoming a great, maybe even an all-time great three-point shooter because look what he did last year. He shot 39%, but look what he did. He took the second most threes to Steph Curry, and he made the second most in the NBA to Steph Curry. I'm not saying he's Steph Curry, but he's at least in the league of Steph Curry right now as a three-point shooter.
Well, Skip, if you look at LeBron when he was in Miami, he was surrounded by three-point shooters. He had Shane Battier, he had Ray Allen, he had Mike Miller. He had guys that could make threes. He had Kyle Korver. Now, I'm not saying Buddy Hield can shoot the ball at the clip that Ray Allen and Kyle Korver. I'm not saying that, but
Kyle Korver, I think he's in the ballpark.
But the thing is, Buddy can also put the ball. Buddy will shoot the mid-range. He'll also put the ball on the floor and get to the hole.
He can.
So he's just not a stand in the corner or stand at the top and shoot the three ball.
He averaged 17 a game for Sacramento last year, and he had a career high 2 years back of 21. So that's what he is. He's in that 20-ish range, and he's a deadly three-point shooter. And I've seen him make a lot of big threes. I know Sacramento isn't in position to take and make a lot of big threes, but he will do that. He would be the perfect fit for LeBron James.
Is this a situation, Skip? A guy is really good at shooting threes on a really bad team. We've seen guys play exceptionally well on bad teams, and we think, okay, man, imagine this guy on a good team and what it would be. Look at Aaron Gordon. Look at Aaron Gordon in Orlando, and look at Aaron Gordon in Denver. So LeBron's like, hold on. It doesn't matter where Russ is, be it OKC, be it Houston, be it DC. Russ going to give me 25, 10. Now, they don't need that. They don't need the triple-double Russ. But LeBron realizes that he's capable of giving us that on a given night. If one of us is out, if Russ is in, and there's no LeBron and just AD, LeBron's like, okay, we can keep this thing going. If there's no AD and there's Russ and Bron, we can keep it rolling. And I think Bron at the end of the day said, well, if one of the big three are out, with Buddy Hield, is that going to be enough? So
what do I see that LeBron James, as the de facto GM of this team, you can't tell me he didn't initiate most of these moves, if not at least co-sign with Rob Pelinka on all these moves. I'm going to give LeBron credit because I told you yesterday, I really like all the moves except for the Russell Westbrook, which unfortunately disqualifies all the nice moves that you make. It undercuts them. It cancels them out because he's your point guard.
Well, Skip, this is the problem that I have with you. You try to make it seem like everything that happens on a team is unique to LeBron. You don't think Sean Marks called Kevin Durant and says, what do you think about Patty Mills?
That's fine. That's fine.
But then, so how you criticize? What about
I'm not criticizing. I'm giving him credit. I'm saying he's earned the right to run the team. How many times have I told you he has the highest IQ in basketball? I hate LeBron, but he has the highest IQ in basketball. He's the best passer in basketball. Well, how many times have I said nobody can freight train to the basket? Nobody can drive the basketball greater than LeBron James has because he is LeBron James, as in BRAWN. You know and I know his upper body physique is invincible. When he gets to the rim, nobody can keep him from the foul line. Now my problems start with him because he's often running from the foul line. He doesn't drive the ball late in games because he doesn't want to have to stand there by himself and make 15-foot shots that count 1 point.
I know a guy that's just won Finals MVP and shot less than 60% from the foul line.
Okay, that disqualifies him. That's why I told you, Kevin Durant, I'll take him any day or night over Giannis. Any day or night. Giannis isn't even the closer for his own team.
Been a long time since I saw him.
Kevin Durant's one of the great closers in the history of this game.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Case closed. Thank you for that.
I saw him got closed out in Game 7 by
so
that guy.
what did we see LeBron just do as the de facto GM? He went box office. He went Hollywood. What have I told you before? He's chasing Michael B. Jordan. What did he just assemble? He assembled the most interesting team times 10 in pro basketball, and that includes the Nets. Because you want to talk about must-see TV with Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard on top of Gasol. You've got, look at the blast from the past. What if you had all these players at their peak? Think about what you'd have. Like Carmelo, once upon a time, it was way back when, in 2013, he led the NBA in scoring.
Yeah.
Well, what if you had 2013 Carmelo right now? Wow, you'd have something, wouldn't you? What if you had Dwight? What's his career year? Go back to 2009 and 10. He was Defensive Player of the Year and led the league in rebounding and block shots. Right. Is he that guy now? No, he's more of a blast from the past, right?
Set screens, rebound.
Okay, there you go.
Catch lob.
Gasol, I told you, I first guessed it last year going into the year. He just looks like a glacier to me. He just doesn't move the way he used to. Once upon a time, we have to go all the way back to 2013. He was the Defensive Player of the Year, and he's still
took that from LeBron.
But he's an excellent passing big man, and he can shoot some threes. I wouldn't lean on it or rely on it, but you know and I know. Once upon a time, he was a force in this league. He's not anymore, right?
If you put all these guys in their prime, I'm not sure they're capable of playing together.
They wouldn't be able to. But like even LeBron James, obviously going into year 19, he's not what he used to be, but there once upon a time, if we go back to 2008, he led this league in scoring. That was the one and only time. Jordan led it 10 times, but LeBron led it one time. He scored 30 a game in 2008. Wasn't that at the peak of his athletic explosiveness, right?
No, he's still there.
Okay. Well, I don't see it, but that's fine. So the point is, you assembled all these blasts from the past, but there's one guy who's still in his prime who is obviously a perennial all-star. And it's unfortunately your new point guard. Wouldn't you still say he's at the end of his prime, like the backside of his prime? What is he, 32?
Yeah.
So he's still there. He's still Russell Westbrook. For the last 5 years, he has triple-doubled for the whole year. It's off the charts. It's unheard of. We would have all predicted against it, said there's no way anybody could do this one time, let alone 4 out of 5 years. And he has done it, and that's who he believes he is. That he is a triple-double waiting to happen.
Well, I mean, look, everybody says, and I know this, Skip, everybody always says the right thing, that the most important thing is winning until the most important thing is not winning is stats. But I do believe Russell Westbrook is will be willing to sacrifice some of the shots. He's not going to get an average triple-double because there are too many other guys that's going to get the rebounds, and they're not going to be pulling their hands back so Russell can get the rebound.
I still say when push comes to shove, sacrifice is not in Russell Westbrook's vocabulary. He doesn't know how to. It's C-rim, attack rim, C-rim, shoot three at rim.
No.
He just goes blind. He is so what I call bullheaded, where he's bull in China shop. I'm just going to run through that brick wall. I'm going to take this game over by myself. And there's a lot to like about it, but it's not how you get games home. There's no Magic Johnson in Russell Westbrook.
No, that's why the ball will be probably late in the ball game. The ball will be in LeBron's hands.
Okay, are you sure about that?
Yeah, I feel comfortable.
Are you sure that Russ is going to feel comfortable with that? Because I don't. That he has never shown any sign of feeling comfortable with that.
I think Russell's going to feel most comfortable winning more games than he's won in a very long time. Because at the end of the day, like I said, Skip, the only hole that's in his resume is a championship.
Okay.
Skip, he has all the other accolades. Though, if Russell gets average another triple-double, Skip, we don't even talk about Russ in the triple-double. He's averaged 4 in the last 5 years.
Yep.
It's obsolete. It was once he
it's
did
not
it,
obsolete, but it's like second nature.
No.
Like,
for him doing it,
right?
It's not the thing.
Yeah.
When Luka do it or someone else does it, we talk about it. But Russ has done it so much, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same pizzazz as it once did before he broke Oscar's record of doing it again in a single season. He followed it up and did it again. So now, okay, you've done that for the past 5 years. You've averaged a triple-double. You have a regular season MVP. You have an All-Star game MVP. You've been All-NBA.
Yeah.
What's the only thing what other box you need to check?
Okay.
Championship.
All right, got it. Now I'm going to say what I told you yesterday. I'm going to really dig in and double down on this because I still think opting for Russell Westbrook over Buddy Hield was a genius move by LeBron James for maybe all the wrong reasons. But it's a genius move because it sets him up to do one of two things. With Buddy Hield, it made too much sense. It's like a really good basketball move, but it's kind of a blah move. Nobody would really care about it. Nobody would really put much focus or attention on Buddy Hield. But now the whole Laker focus is on the guy from Los Angeles, at least from the L.A. area, who grew up a Laker fan, who finally got to go home to his Lakers, Russell Westbrook. Will he not be the focus and starting with game one? We will all focus to see how Russ can fit in with LeBron and AD and the whole team.
Skip, it's the same thing when James Harden got to Brooklyn.
Okay.
We wanted to see how he's going to fit with Kyrie and KD.
Okay.
And it fit extremely well. Now, I don't believe this is as easy fit for the Lakers as it was Harden getting ingratiated in Brooklyn. I don't believe it's as easy a fit. I don't. But
what was the magic move? Like one of the early practices, Kyrie, according to reports, turned to James and said, "Hey, you're the point guard. I'm the two guard."
But James is a better passer.
He just did.
Harden is led the league in assists.
All of a sudden, it fit, right?
Right. So Kyrie can go to his natural position, which is a two guard, which is a scoring player.
Got it. This is not natural because LeBron is the obvious point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers. They are at their best when he is initiating the offense. So the point is, it's a genius move by LeBron because if he can pull it off with Russ, if he can, let's just go to the nth degree, if he can win next year's championship with Russell Westbrook as the point guard, then he shows the NBA world that he did something Kevin Durant said, I can't do. James Harden said, I can't do. Kawhi Leonard effectively said, I don't want any part of that, right? So three great players have said no to Russell Westbrook. So if LeBron could say yes to a championship with Russ, you want to talk about high degree of difficulty. You want to talk about
but this is what you'll do. Then everybody will turn around and say, well, he should have won one. Russ has averaged a triple-double for the last 5 years. Well, he's been an MVP. So then
I wouldn't say that.
All the things that you criticize Russ for, he's never won. He's ball hoggish. He has high usage rate. He turns the ball over. He wins a championship with LeBron. The first thing the next thing out of everybody's mouth. Well, he should have. He got an MVP. LeBron had to stack the deck to win again.
I can't speak for everybody else. I'm just speaking for me. And I told you right now, there is no way I will compliment Russell Westbrook and say you should have won with him. I'm on record, disaster. You can write it down on your notes and keep it. You can post it on your dressing room wall. Skip said disaster.
No, what you try to do is you try to speak it into existence, and so I won't allow that to happen. I rebuke what you're saying.
All right. So here's the flip side of that. If it fails, Russell Westbrook is already set up to be the all-time ultimate scapegoat for the quote-unquote GOAT that you say LeBron is, because everybody has issues with the way Russ plays basketball. Everybody has problems with Russell as a point guard because everybody, any even novice basketball fan, can see He's not a great decision maker. Right. He's led the league in turnovers 4 times, and he's been second in turnovers 4 times.
Right.
Well, it's hard to win to overcome that usage rate with that many turnovers on a consistent basis. So he is a stat freak. Nobody can produce stats the way he can. But he's never been a one-loss freak, as in winning championships or winning playoff games. You know, and I know he is flamed out at the highest level in big playoff games.
It's hard for a guard to lead as a solo act to lead. I mean, that's why you tip your cap to a guy like Allen Iverson. But for the most part, small guards don't lead teams to championships.
Okay, all right. So you just said it. He is the all-time solo act. It's a great act. It is must-see. I've told you, I just hang on every Russell Westbrook game. I was watching the Wizards like crazy last year because I want to see if he can pull it off. And he often does pull it off in regular season games because, to your point, he will never cheat you on effort on the offensive end. Sometimes on defense, he'll rest a little bit. He can be a little disruptive on defense, but nobody plays harder on offense by the dribble than this guy does. So it's fun to watch because it's fun to watch the stats get padded up. You watch him, he'll have a triple-double most nights after 3 quarters, and you say, how did he do that? Because have you ever seen a better rebounding 6'3" guard than this guy?
Guess what we have after a lot of 3 quarters this year? A lot of dubs. Already in the bag after 3 quarters. In the bag.
And guess what? You might just fall right into that bag in the first round of the playoffs because I say disaster. I say when you least expect it, Russell say, I got this, LeBron. I'm taking over.
I know who won't beat us.
Really?
I know who won't beat us.
Oh, you mean the team that you already admitted to me on the air before we went on vacation that if Kawhi had stayed healthy, that the Clippers would have won the West. That's what you told me. Yeah. You readily admitted that. Okay.
Did they stay healthy?
Okay, they did not. Okay, but were they on track to win the West? Yes, they were.
Sometimes Skip, sometimes you can be on the right track, but head in the wrong direction and something bad happens.
Really? Well, something bad is about to happen to your Lakers.
Okay, we'll see.
They're Hollywood. They are box office.
Skip, do you realize we had the best, the highest revenue of merchandise sale? Do you know the Lakers?
Thank you. You're making my case.
Skip, they didn't need Russ to sell tickets.
They do.
No, they don't. They're the Lakers.
They'll triple that.
Skip, hold on. That's like saying the Cowboys need to have an elephant out front to take tickets. They're the Cowboys. They're going to sell regardless. They're the Lakers. They're a cornerstone franchise. They got LeBron James. They got Anthony Davis. They didn't need any Russ to sell tickets. They got Russ because they believe. LeBron and AD believes Russ is a piece that can help them get to where they need to be, and that's winning another championship. It's not about selling no tickets.
Yes, it is.
They're the Lakers.
Hollywood, it's box office.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.